Hey guys, it's me, Meteor. Here we are, back to Kirby Fighters Deluxe. Of course, we did beat it last time, so that only leaves one more ability to do here. And of course, that ability is going to be Bell. Let's go ahead and set it to very hard, like awesome. Let's go ahead and begin and start this thing. Round 1 versus Beam. Now, Beam is a long-range attack, although not really all too great against Bell. But Bell can't honestly really do all too much against it. Because you can't do the little slide thing because you run right into the beam that way. Your only real hope is like mash A right next to the opponent like this. And hopefully you get him close enough where he doesn't hit that little mint leaf there. My only thing I'm going to do here is just run away, try to avoid it. Of course the first round is never really all too exciting anyway, so whatever. I'm just going to try to get up in a corner and then just spam the A button here. And there we go. Or B button. Whatever. I don't quite remember. I think it's B button actually, not the A button. But whatever. A button is jump. B is attack. That makes a lot of sense. Anyway, here, round 2 versus Bomb. My buddy has a sword. Oh yeah, let's do this. This isn't going to be very hard at all. Just spam Bell. Just spam the B button. Get him trapped in a corner. And really, Bomb is useless against Bell. Bell could pretty much just spam and break away the bombs in every way possible. Look at this. As long as I spam the B button, he can't shoot bombs at me. That is pretty crazy, but either way, we ended off with a perfect without taking any damage each. Granted, we did take damage, but we ended up with full health, so that's pretty awesome in its own right. Anyway, next up is Piersol. 2 Piersols versus me, or rather, all for all, really. And here we are on the butter building. Oh yeah. Just gonna go ahead and just spam with the slide attack like this. Slide attacks are fun, especially when they send projectiles. It does get kind of annoying though with my blocking ability. The blocking ability with the Bell is pretty awesome, that you actually deflect. So if enemies run into you, they actually take damage. The problem with that is that you can't roll. You cannot roll with the guard, so you cannot guard roll like you can with every other ability. So that can sometimes prove troublesome and kind of annoying, but either way, that's just how it works. You can't really help that. Cannot be helped, so whatever. As you can tell, Piersol's kind of owning up on me pretty well. Thankfully, I get him while he's asleep. Gonna go into smash here. Try to get it close to him enough. It's kind of hard to get close to him because his Piersol could actually just bust through anything I actually try to shoot at him with the bells or anything, so not really all too great for abilities. Just gotta get near him one more time. Oh, I got a cupcake. That's something. Just gonna give him a little corner. And it's gonna slide, and there we go. Yeah! A 3-win streak. That's not gonna last very long, I guarantee you that. Team Bell and Beetle versus 2 Whips. Oh, that's cool. The 2 new abilities for Kirby Fighters actually added up against Whip. Alright, fair enough. Whip, of course, is long range, kind of hard to attack against, but Bell is also pretty long range too. And from what I could tell, Bell usually has the upper hand against Whip in most circumstances. But that's just what I've been able to notice here. Just the long range attack too is very nice. If you just get a combo like this and just do that, you can keep them away pretty good. If you have 2 at you at once, it's kind of hard to judge, especially when one is invincible. And now they're both invincible because you actually went ahead and just smooched each other. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stay away here as much as I can. Wait for it. I got a bomb dropped on me. That's not very nice at all. And my partner just died. Okay, that's kind of bad. My partner wouldn't wake up though, so I'm gonna go. Come on, jump in the cannon. Jump in the cannon. And the master owning cannon is now going to be charged, and the double cannon is going to do a double kill. So there we go. Yeah! Round 5, Croco. Now, in all honesty, Croco, in my opinion, is the hardest with Bell. My other abilities against Croco, I just spammed, no problem, and got him down like maybe 2 tries at the most. But Croco took me some severe actual, timing to get things down. The reason for that being is that the only invincibility frame that Bell has is the little slide attack. But there's almost no margin of error at all. But not just that, the only way you can really attack Croco when you're not doing that little slide attack is by going underneath him at just the right spot and just spamming the A button. But most of the time, the A button doesn't even work because it's not high enough to actually hit it properly. And if it does, it doesn't really do all too much damage. So you have to be really careful when you're actually attacking it and avoiding its attacks. So it actually took a lot of practice to actually take down Croco in this run for some reason. It's the only ability I've had trouble with in this entire game in general. Maybe it's just me, maybe other people had bigger problems, but I think for me, I really think Bell is the hardest to fight Croco with, in my personal opinion. Anyway, at this point I'm just going to try to slide attack here to the right, and I can't do anything there. Go again, just keep doing that. As you can tell, I'm still not doing all too much damage to it. I mean, it took about 3/4 of its health, but normally at this point the enemy is already dead by a long time ago. But either way, it's almost dead, so a little bit more, and Croco was destroyed. Alright. Hooray! Yeah, and your partner is basically useless, but whatever. Now we have 2 ninjas, and that other ninja is actually the alternate outfit, which is actually a ninja's outfit. So that's kind of neat. In fact, most of the alternate costumes actually are based off the enemies you actually grab them from. Which is strange, because in Super Smash Bros., the ability you grab is, the hat you have is always based on the enemy you grab. But in regular Kirby games, the actual ability you grab is usually entirely different from the enemy you grab. But that's just something for another day to actually mention. But whatever. Anyway, here we are on Dynablade stage, and right now I'm easily able to counteract these 2 ninjas just by spamming the B button pretty well. And it's not really all too much of a threat, especially since Ninja is pretty much all close range, and he can't really do all too much to me, really, that I can't get in the way of. But either way, I'm easily able to counter it and take it out. So there you go. 3 rounds to go, so round 7 is going to be another team battle. This battle was really, really, really annoying. We have an archer, we have cutter, and I have a fighter and Bell. Basically, these opponents here will have their super long range and always attack me all the time, but I was never able to actually destroy them because they're just so powerful. Like two long range attacks versus 2 kind of somewhat short range. Although it's not the worst experience I've ever had against computers, but whatever. Still somewhat annoying. I think I got really lucky against this battle, but either way, because I actually got an invincibility lollipop, so that means I can just go ahead and just spam here in the corner, spamming the B button. And of course, even though I got smashed, I still did a lot of damage to the computer, so that's all that really matters. Any other computer there, go ahead and revived itself, no big deal. We've pretty much taken out these other computers here, no problem. Almost. I can take these out, no problem here. And they both killed themselves, so there you go. We won, I guess. Kind of got lucky, but whatever. No big deal, not going to complain. Next up, we have 3 hammers. This, honestly, won't really be too hard thinking about it because, well, 3 hammers are all entirely close range, no long range whatsoever. However, I have somewhat long range, and most of them could just hit against me with my little bell shield thing. Although, you can't just use the bell shield the entire time. That could lead to a lot of problems. Most of the time, I'm just going to stay in a corner, though, trying to avoid the hammers, because if they get near me, I'll die in pretty much 3 seconds. Because hammer is very, very powerful, despite being short range. I could do a whole bunch of damage to them, but they only have to hit me like maybe 3 times for me to actually die. I don't even know why I bothered even charging with that attack. It doesn't do anything, because its range is so short. But either way, I am really, really close to dying here. Really close. Just gonna try to stay away, just try to spam the bell shield. And now it's down to 1. Come on. Get closer. There we go. Alright. So that leaves just 1 more opponent. I think we all know who this opponent is going to be. Obviously, it's going to be King DDD 64. Or since I died twice against him, we're going to be fighting DDD 32. So, yeah. The lowest number it could actually go down to is DDD 24. And that's if you die against him 3 times. If you die against him twice, well, then it's 32. The first time it's 47. Anyway, just going to constantly do the little twirl spin attack. Actually, very effective against these guys. Very, very effective. In fact, in my original run against the 64, I took no damage whatsoever against the 64 DDDs, but I died miserably to actually the 3 DDDs near the end, because I made a lot of stupid decisions. But that's another story for another day. Right now you're actually seeing DDD 32, and whatever. Just one more hit, and now it's down to the real battle. And of course the music changes up like always. I'm going to try to get as much damage as I can against King DDD himself, because, well, Bell, like I said, isn't the greatest ability to fight bosses with, in my personal opinion. It's very weak, and there aren't very many invincibility frames at all to work with. However, if you time it properly, you could use that little bell to your advantage. But of course, now he's up to Mega King DDD, and now I have to just avoid attacks. Keep on spamming the little swirl, duck underneath him, just twirl. Twirl again. Kick slide. That's the only way I've been able to see, that's the only way I've been able to actually reliably dodge an attack with the jumping is by actually slide kicking like that. But either way, it works. Just gonna keep on spamming that twirl whenever I can. Even though it's not really doing all too much damage, it seems to be the best form of action. I think that's an exclusive keychain right there. I don't think I've actually remembered seeing that keychain in the actual game of Triple Deluxe, but whatever. A little bit more. Now, I really think that Shadow Kirby was actually a much better boss than this guy, because this guy's more of a one-trick pony. Once you learn his pattern, he is very, very simple, but with Shadow Kirby, it was basically a complete challenge each and every time because you had no idea what to do against him. You got owned several times. But here, he's going to go down, and that's going to be it. So long, DDD. Congratulations! Let's see what the hat is alternative that we have this time. Wow. Iron Maiden Kirby. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near Iron Maiden Kirby. That would be very, very dangerous. Maybe it's a reference to something else I'm just not aware of. But I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like an Iron Maiden. But whatever. Anyway, after you beat the game with every single Kirby character, or rather every single Kirby ability, you see the credits. Just like you see in pretty much every other Kirby game. Not quite as long, since Kirby Fighters Deluxe is a much shorter game than actual Kirby Triple Deluxe. But, surprisingly, the credits are still really long. I mean, it's not like a very small credits like you would see for a Shinin game. But that's another story for another day. And that had the alternative costume for Beetle. I did not mention that it was actually an alternative. It was actually based off of Hydra, one of the legendary airships from Kirby's Air Ride. The reason why I didn't say that was because I honestly didn't know that. Basically because I'm in the severe minority when I say this. Severe Kirby minority in terms of fans. I could not get into Kirby Air Ride. I just couldn't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into a game that's based on one button for braking, for drifting, for using your item, for stealing items. But not just that, the entire game is on rails. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I understand a lot of people like it, and I understand it might be a good game for some. I just never really got into it, so never really saw all the real innards. I don't really know all too much about Kirby's Air Ride, except maybe the actual music from it, and some of the actual the courses you race on. But that's pretty much it. So, admittedly, Kirby's Air Ride is one part of my Kirby fandom that I haven't really been too far into. But maybe it's just because I never had anyone to play with. I hear it's really, really great for multiplayer, but I just couldn't get into the single player. I don't know. I never had anyone to play with. Maybe that's part of the reason too. In fact, that's probably one of the main reasons actually. But I suppose none of that really matters. That's all a subject for another day, another time, whatever. Not a big deal. I'm not putting down get the game down at all. Like I said, I understand some people are into that game. That's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means. I'm just not one I could get into. Anyway, after you see the credits, of course, you see that little picture in the bottom right. But if you beat the game on very hard with every single character, you get this little emblem here. Congratulations, all abilities mastered. And that only shows if you beat the game with every single ability on very hard. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time with DDD's Drum Dash. See you guys then.